Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into this video on the Spark Your Speaking channel. Today we are going to talk about 3 ways to make your PowerPoint presentation successful. My name is Kathy Lee and I am your public speaking coach. A PowerPoint to accompany your speech or presentation can be really effective, but there is a way to do it right. Time and time again, I've sat through these types of presentations and just got bored and lost interest. So how do we avoid this and make sure that if you are using this tool as a visual cue for your talk, people are listening and paying attention? Number 1, do not use long and bulky text to fill each slide. Oh, don't do this. First off, it's very difficult for the audience to read dense text on your screen or the projector, and nor do they want to. They came to listen to you speak, not read off of a projector. Plus, if they are taking notes, it can be very difficult for your audience members to write down what you have up on the screen. When students come to me for help to refine and improve their PowerPoint, this is the first mistake I usually see. It's just slide on slide on slide of dense text. So what I do is ask my students to look at each slide and summarize the content into a few points. So visually, that's all we want to see, just a few points, and then you fill in the rest with your words. So let's say we're going to talk about avocados or something, okay? I've Googled this from the internet to give you an example of dense text. So take a look at the screen. Avocados are rich in nutrients and are a source of vitamin C, E, K, folate, magnesium, and potassium. Avocados contain a high level of healthy, beneficial fats, which can, help a person feel fuller between meals. Eat it every day for a healthy heart. In every 100 gram of avocado, there are 76 milligrams of a natural plant sterol, which helps maintain healthy cholesterol levels. Avocados are also high in fiber, which will improve digestion. Each half avocado contains about 6 to 7 grams of fiber. Eating natural fiber can lower the risk of colon cancer and maintain digestive tract health. Whew. So that's a lot of text. And believe me when I say I've sat through presentations where this much text is on the screen. I mean, I couldn't even read all that. It was too much. As an audience member, I feel like my eyes are going to go crossed, So let's break this down into something that is easier to read on the PowerPoint. Okay, so what I would do is on the first screen, so take a look, I'm going to summarize quickly what this talk is about. So I'll put something like health benefits of avocados as the title, okay? And then I'll fill the rest with information saying something along the lines of, this is a fruit that you want to eat as much as you can because you will reap many benefits from it, but I'm going to say that. I'm not actually going to put that on the screen. So now I'm going to pick 3 main points from that dense text that you just saw, okay, which I'll pull out: rich in nutrients, okay, promote heart health, and then high in fiber. So out of that dense text, those are the 3 main points I think are important to highlight. So those 3 points are going to go onto a separate board. And then what you're going to do is you're going to break down those 3 points even further into their own board. And I'd only have 1 to 3 points per board under those main points, if that makes sense. So here's an example. This will help you to see a visual. So for your first board that says rich in nutrients, I'll include source of vitamins C, E, K, folate, magnesium, and potassium. Then my next bullet point, I'll have healthy, beneficial fat. Okay? So those are going to be your visual cues to help you remember what you're going to say. You're going to elaborate on these, other bullet points. But what the audience is going to see is just that, just to make it simple. Okay? Then your second board will have the title, promote heart health. Okay? And then I'll include this point below, which I think is important: natural plant sterol. And then you will elaborate on what you mean by that. And then you'll do the same for the third board and so on and so forth, okay? This will help you not only clean up your PowerPoint, but it will also help you remember what you're going to say, right? When you see the word natural plant sterol, you'll add some context to that. So my next tip to help you improve your PowerPoint is do not read off the slides verbatim. Again, Your audience did not come to your presentation to read off a slide. They came to hear what you have to say. And this mistake can be easily fixed by following the first tip I gave, which is do not have dense text on your PowerPoint slide. If you get rid of your dense text on your slides, that means you can't read off of them, right? By cleaning up your slides and only putting down a few main points, etc., what it forces you to do is to actually know your content. The goal is by looking at the points, it will trigger your memory and you will know what to say, okay? I know this seems like it's a lot more work, but this is what a PowerPoint presentation should look and sound like. It's not supposed to be a crutch for you to read off of because you can't remember your content. It's supposed to act as a visual cue to help accompany your presentation and help you remember what content is to come next. So I'm going to give you an example of a presentation I helped one of my students with. This student's topic was real estate investment, and it was titled Types of Real Estate Investment. When this student came to me, their slides were overwhelming. Too much content to follow, and I even got confused. What we did was comb through the text and condensed it in 5 ways people could invest in real estate. So the first one was BRRR, B-R-R-R, buy, rehabilitate, repair, rent, refinance, repeat. Then we had private equity, short-term rentals, tiny homes, wholesaling, aka bird dogging. So these 5 points, each of these points down even further. Now, without going into too much depth here, let's take the first concept, BRRR, which again stands for buy, rehabilitate, repair, rent, refinance, repeat. The first slide will have the word BRRR on it. And then we briefly summarize what that means or what that meant and mention all the steps that go with it. And then we broke each of those steps down into their own slides to include 2 to 3 more points about them. So this is a very effective way of organizing your slides while still having the important information there, but showcasing it in a clear and concise way that will help your audience follow along, okay? Before we get to my third tip, I just want to thank you again for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys sticking it through with me and learning. Remember to join our public speaking community by hitting the subscribe button below. You do that, you will continue to get free weekly public speaking and training videos, okay? So go ahead and subscribe. So my third tip to help you improve your PowerPoint presentation is to use photos or a graph or some kind of visual to show what you're talking about other than the words on the screen. Of course, only do this if it makes sense and if there is a visual cue. So don't force this if you can't find one. So going back to the real estate investment example, what we added to the PowerPoint slides were pictures of what a tiny home looked like. I certainly have never heard of a tiny home before and had to Google it up. So I suggested to the student to include a photo of it right on the slide for the audience members to have that visual. As another example, for short-term rentals, there were some statistics that were important to that slide. So what we did was include a graph or chart to depict those statistics. When it comes to numbers, if you happen to have them in your PowerPoint, graphs and charts really help audience members see what you're talking about, okay? Going back to the avocado example, oh, well, why not? Why not use pictures of avocados to brighten up your PowerPoint? Or if you're talking about, certain vitamins or certain minerals, find, the compound structure for it. Or so I don't know, I'm just giving you some examples to spiffy up your PowerPoint and make it visually appealing. Well, that's all for today, everyone. Just to recap, 3 ways to make your PowerPoint presentation successful are: do not use long and bulky text to fill each slide, do not read off the slides verbatim, and use photos or a graph or some kind of visual to enhance your slides. If you like this video and found it helpful, remember to hit the like button below and share it so that others can benefit as well. If you have any questions or topic ideas, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you would like to learn more about the other public speaking programs that I offer, go to my website, sparkyourspeaking.com. See you next week.